Perfect. Yeah. Thank you all so much for being here. I'm sure you're all feeling it by now, but AI is now a board level mandate. But adoption often stalls because success isn't about just having the right tools. It's about whether people are ready and equipped to use them. So today, I'm excited to share the framework that we actually used at Zapier to help drive AI literacy and org readiness and how you can embed it into your own company's DNA. Cool. So starting off, what is AI literacy and org readiness? AI literacy is about making sure everyone, not just technical teams, can actually use, understand, and evaluate AI responsibly. And org readiness is about having the right systems, policies, and culture to scale safely and strategically. Without this foundation, your AI efforts are going to stall. You may run into shadow AI, fragmented adoption, or compliance risks. So as you can see, we've got 4 different stages to the AI readiness framework. We've got curiosity, urgency, capability plan building, and habits. And I'll talk a little bit in the next slide about what this looks like at Zapier. So when we started our AI journey at Zapier, it first launched in we first got started when ChatGPT launched in November of 2022. And so we really just encouraged our Zapians to explore it through informal word of mouth training or sharing. And that built a lot of energy across the org. And then we moved on to urgency. So in March of 2023, our CEO actually issued our first ever code red after ChatGPT 4 dropped. It really highlighted the importance of AI adoption. It made it clear that like if we did nothing, that was going to be our only losing move. So we ended up really doubling down on how we operate to optimize for the speed of AI-related development. And people came at it with really mixed emotions. Either people were really energized by the opportunity ahead, or they were really anxious about like, what does this mean for my job? As Victoria just mentioned with psychological safety, you want to make sure that you're pairing this urgency with those components so that way folks know where they're standing and what's next. And then shortly after that, we went into capability planning. So once Code Red happened, we actually paused all of our normal work for a Zapier AI Hack Week. And we partnered with legal and security to set guardrails and gave people safe ways to experiment. And we also developed an AI enablement coda and Slack channels to encourage knowledge sharing as Zapians were ramping up. And so then with that, Hack Week actually energized the team, and we quickly had AI becoming part of our daily workflows. We encouraged folks to set personal growth goals and to use AI in at least one area of their daily work. And we also tracked adoption and engagement surveys and invested in training across our teams. And that actually drove us from 65% adoption in late 2023 to 89% by spring of 2025. And we actually have our pulse survey happening right now, and it looks like we're trending towards like 97%. So that's super exciting to see. The main takeaway here is that readiness doesn't just happen in one leap. It's a step-by-step journey that HR can help lead. And so I wanted to give you some actual practical steps to walk away with, whether you're starting from scratch or already in motion. If you're wondering who should lead an AI effort at your team, you want to start by asking who can actually influence culture and bring key players together. So in most cases, that means a cross-functional team and with HR at the table to help drive adoption and influence policies. And at Zapier, this actually looks like our L&D team. They actually lead a lot of our AI transformation efforts and do such an amazing job. And then they partner with DRIs across the org and exec sponsors to help keep AI a priority. And then building centralized resources makes it way easier for your team to get started with AI. This could either look like an internal knowledge base, a prompt library, or workflow templates. And then having dedicated communication channels, either in Slack or a forum or some sort of a community board, enables each other to share knowledge across teams. So that way we can test each other's experiments or wins or help each other with challenges. And then hackathons, trainings, and office hours actually accelerate adoption and normalize experimentation. And embedding this AI into hiring, onboarding, and performance reviews helps make AI fluency a core competency from day one. And then, of course, as Victoria had mentioned, you want to be able to track readiness and adoption over time. So that way you can highlight wins, identify areas for improvement, and adjust your AI strategy based on that feedback. So these are just a few ways to get started with building a culture of continuous learning and adoption with AI. As I had mentioned, you'll get resources at the end of this, and we'll give you Zapier's entire playbook for how we maximized AI adoption here. But thank you so much for being here.